In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a real customer support workflow inside of GoHighLevel using tickets, tags, and SLAs. If you're running an e-commerce brand, support issues don't come in neatly. You get emails, form submissions, DMs, chargeback questions, shipping complaints, refund requests, and if you're not tracking them properly, things fall through fast. Today, I'll show you how to organize support requests so you know what's open, what's overdue, and who's responsible without living in your inbox all day. I'm Erin from Ecom Mastery. Let's get into it. Why e-commerce support breaks so easily. Most e-commerce brands don't actually have a support system. What they really have is messages coming from everywhere at once. Emails about delayed orders, DMs on Instagram asking where a package is, contact forms requesting refunds, chargeback warnings from payment processors, all happening at the same time. At first, it feels manageable because you recognize the names and remember who you replied to. But once volume picks up, everything starts to blur together. The problem is that support ends up living in people's heads instead of a system. You're scrolling through inboxes trying to remember if someone already got a response, you're digging through DMs to see if an issue was handled, or asking your team, did anyone reply to this? And when something gets missed, it's usually not because someone didn't care, it's because there was nowhere clear for that issue to live. That's why e-commerce support breaks so easily. There's no single place that shows what's open, what's been answered, what's waiting on the customer, and what's actually resolved. Everything feels urgent because nothing is organized. Refunds get delayed, customers follow up multiple times, and small problems turn into bad reviews or chargebacks simply because they slip through the cracks. And this is where tickets matter. A ticket gives every issue its own home. One conversation, one status, one history of what's already been said. So instead of relying on memory or searching through inboxes, you can see exactly what's going on, who's handling it, and whether it's finished or still waiting. That's the difference between reacting to support and actually keeping control of it. Now that everything has a place to live, we're going to set up the pipeline that actually holds these support tickets. Before we jump in, go ahead and sign up using my link down below to start a free trial of GoHighLevel. That gives you full access to the platform so you can follow along with this setup, and it also helps support the channel so I can keep making tutorials like this. So once you're in the GoHighLevel dashboard, we are going to head over to opportunities on the left, and then we are going to pipelines in the middle. And then what we're going to do is create a new pipeline. And I am going to be naming this pipeline Ecom pipeline. So it's obvious what it's used for when you're looking at it later. If you have sales pipelines too, you don't want support tickets mixed in with orders or deals. So once the pipeline is created, we need stages that reflect how support actually moves, not sales, not leads, just real customer issues. So for the first stage, I am going to name it new request. Now this is where every incoming issue starts. A refund request, a shipping problem, a broken item, anything that comes in before someone has touched it. So this stage answers one question: has this been acknowledged yet or has it not? Next, we are going to do waiting on customer. So this stage is for those moments where support has replied but you're paused. Maybe you asked for an order number, maybe you need a photo, maybe you're waiting for confirmation. So the ticket isn't being worked on right now, but it's not resolved either. So having this stage keeps your team from accidentally following up twice or forgetting about it entirely. Then we have in progress. So this is where active work happens. So the issue is either being handled, checked, escalated, or processed. So this stage tells everyone someone owns this right now, no guessing, no overlap. Then lastly, we are going to do resolved. So this is where the ticket goes when the issue is actually done. The refund was sent, replacements were shipped, questions were answered, so nothing else needs to happen unless the customer replies again. These stages match how e-commerce support really flows day to day. New issues come in, some pause while you wait on customers, some are actively worked, and the rest are finished. That's it. There's no extra steps, no sales logic, just a clear path from request to resolution. So once the pipeline is saved, we want to go back to opportunities, and then we are going to select the e-commerce pipeline from the dropdown at the top. So this is where support actually gets managed. Each column represents a stage of a customer issue. New requests start in the first column. As work happens, you move the card across the pipeline. That movement shows who owns the issue and what state it's in. When a customer reaches out, you add them here as an opportunity opportunity, and that opportunity is tied to a contact, so all messages, notes, and updates stay connected to the same person instead of living in separate inboxes. As support progresses, the card moves. New requests means it hasn't been handled yet, waiting on a customer means you're waiting for a reply, and in progress means someone is actively working on it, and resolved means the issue is finished. You can see what's open, what's stuck, and what's done. If one column starts piling up, you immediately know where attention is needed. So from the pipeline view, we're going to click on Add Opportunity. So this is where a customer issue actually gets created and placed in the system. You'll select the contact first, so the request is tied to a real person. So that keeps their email, phone number, and past conversations connected to the issue instead of floating around separately. The pipeline is already set to the e-commerce pipeline, and the stage starts at new request, which is exactly where new support messages should land. And the opportunity name can be something simple like the issue itself, delayed order, refund request. We can even do address change, just enough to recognize it at a glance. You don't need to overthink the value field here. For support, this is about tracking the issue and not revenue. So for here, actually, I'm going to put Aaron, refund request. So that way, when we click save, we can see who it's for and also the refund request. So once you hit create, that request appears immediately in the pipeline and can be moved forward as work happens. So this is where tickets turn into real trackable work instead of loose conversations. And how we would move them through the pipeline is you would just drag their tag and drop them. So it's very easy to identify which stage they're at. We just drag and drop. Another way is you can also just click on the contact and you can move them from the stage progress. So let's say they were moved to resolved. You could just click resolved instead. Once you click save, it'll be on the right-hand side under resolved. Now we're going to go to automation and we are going to be opening workflows. So we can click build using AI. So this is just a fast way to get the structure in place. So that way we're not building everything from scratch. So inside of the prompt box, I am going to say when a new opportunity is created in the e-commerce pipeline at the new request stage, assign it to the support team, add a support tag, send a confirmation message to the customer, and start tracking response time. If the new opportunity stays in new request past the SLA, notify the team. So I'm trying to be as specific as possible. That way, when they build the workflow, they're listening to every detail and building off of what I guided it to do. And now I will just let the workflow generate. Awesome. So now that this workflow is built, I want you to look at it top to bottom as one flow. So it starts when a new opportunity is created in the e-commerce pipeline at the new request stage. So that's the moment a customer issue officially becomes something trackable instead of just a message. So the first action assigns it to the support team. So that immediately answers the question of who owns this. So there's no guessing and no waiting for someone to notice. Next, a support tag gets added. So that tag follows the request everywhere in the pipeline, on the contact, and inside conversations. So everyone knows what this is without opening it. Then SLA tracking starts. This is where timing matters. From this point forward, the system is measuring how long this request sits untouched. After that, the customer gets a confirmation message so that they know their request was received, which reduces repeat messages asking for updates. So the workflow then waits for the SLA time you set. You can change the number here, and you can also change minutes, hours, or days on the right-hand side. Once the wait is over, the workflow checks one thing. Is this opportunity still in the new request stage? If it's not, the workflow ends. So that means someone picked it up and moved it forward. If it's still there, the support team gets notified that the SLA was breached. There's no manual checking, no scrolling through timestamps. The alert only files when something actually stalled. And that's the entire point of the setup. Requests turn into opportunities, opportunities gets owners, and owners get time limits, and delays get surfaced automatically. And this is how you stop relying on memory and start relying on the system. After the AI AI builds the workflow, you're gonna see a few errors on the left, and that is completely normal. So the AI creates the structure, but it can't guess things like which pipeline, which user, or how long your SLA should be. So those steps need to be filled in manually. If it says the pipeline isn't found, you can open the trigger and reselect the e-commerce pipeline. If it says no user is assigned, we want to open the assign step and choose your support user or team. And if the SLA step has an error, just set an actual time window. Once those are filled in, the error is clear and the workflow is ready to publish. The AI gets you most of the way there. You just finish the setup so it matches how your support actually runs. And that's the full setup. You got support requests turning into trackable tickets, clear stages so nothing gets lost, tags to keep context, and SLA timing so delays get flagged automatically. Once this is in place, support stops feeling chaotic. You know what's open, what's being worked, and what needs attention without digging through inboxes all day. If this walkthrough helped, like the video and subscribe for more e-commerce and GoHighLevel tutorials. And if you want to test this out yourself, check the link in the description to get started. I'm Erin from Ecom Mastery. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.